Wrapping up 95 minutes nonstop, Z95.3. My name is Simone. So excited. We have Lights in studio with us.
How you doing?
Good. It's been a while since you've been here.
I know. It feels good to be back. So thank you guys.
Obviously, you've been busy working on some new music. You've got your album Skin and Earth that came out, I want to say like last year, September?
Yeah, end of September.
Okay. And you just told us off the air that Giants, that was the first release off the album.
Yeah.
And you've recorded it now in 4 more languages?
Yeah, on Friday that comes out, and it was such a cool experience. And it's funny because as a musician, as a singer, it's kind of your job to mimic the way things sound. So actually, phonetically, I think listening back, I did the pronunciations well, but I'll leave that up to everyone else to decide.
Okay, so what languages?
So I did Japanese, Spanish, French, and Tagalog, and each of them have a little connection with something about my life. I mean, I grew up on Japanese anime and manga. It's influenced actually the comic that came out with Skin and Earth. I drew and wrote a 6-issue comic series that came of the same name.
Yeah.
So it influenced that. French is obviously around us all the time. We live in Canada, so French. And Tagalog, yeah.
That's all I
there we
know.
go. Very good. Messy. Worst accent there. Don't copy that one. Tagalog. I actually spent a few years of my life living in the Philippines, so
Wow.
big place in my heart. Love the Philippines. And Spanish. My husband's family is actually all Mexican, and my mom grew up in Colombia, so have a little affinity with.
That's
Spanish
so
language.
neat. Okay, so which one was kind of the hardest to learn? Like, you know, growing up, you knew some parts of some of the languages, but which one was like the biggest challenge?
You know, ironically, French was really hard. I obviously grew up around French, but reading the lyric and then trying to speak it was like, there's all these silent letters, like ghost letters and mystery words. But actually the hardest hands down was Japanese. If you switch out one of the syllables for a syllable that sounds the same, like an ah or an ah, that changes the meaning of the word. So you could be saying something you totally didn't intend to say. So that one took the most fixes and revisits. But also with the release of these, I'm putting out a translated version of issue 1 of the comic in all those languages too, so people can get into the whole project.
That's really neat. Now, Zach's from the street team. He's in here with us, and he's a big fan of the comics, right?
Yeah, well, as someone who's always wanted to make their own comic,
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, what was your inspiration in the story that you wrote, and how do you integrate that story into the newest album?
Well, yeah, that's starting at the beginning. I agree with comics. It's one of those industries that all the fans want to be creators too, because it's just such a fulfilling medium. You know, I just love comics. So cool. I'm glad you're into it. The inspiration there was, I think I've always wanted to see an album crossover, especially with a female act. I find I have more of an affinity with female creators. A lot of the comics I read are female writers, and there's just some power in that, and I feel really inspired by it. And I always thought, man, how cool would it be if, like, you know, if there was an album concept crossover? That would be just amazing. I was sitting around, you know, daydreaming that someday someone could do this, and then it totally hit me one day that I should just do it.
I'm going to do this.
I'm going to do this. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. So, yeah, I ended up spending a lot of time on, like, webinars and tutorials on YouTube, learning how to, because I've always drawn, but didn't know how to complete a page of a comic or lay it out or pace it, you know what I mean?
That's
So it took
cool.
it took a lot of learning, and actually came up with the core idea of the story before I started writing any of the music, and then brought that story into sessions and would just say, this is the part of the story we're going to write about today, and this is the mood I need to convey. And it was this awesome creative launch pad for all the sessions, and the songs all tell the story in their own way, but also stand alone from the comic if comics aren't your thing.
So we've got the languages, we've got the comics, and Justine, what was the thing about the frozen yogurt?
Yeah, well, I remember walking into Menchie's
Yeah!
a few years ago, and I saw the cookie dough flavor. Up We Dough, yeah. After Up We Go came out. So do you have any, like, more yogurt flavors in the works?
We have a big
What
sweet
can I
tooth
expect
around
at
Me too.
Menchie's? Yeah.
I wish. I mean, hit me up, Menchie's. I'm up for it. That was the Benefit Music Count. So it's always cool to do those collaborations to support causes that really matter. And actually, that's the cool thing about the tour. We're starting our tour in Vancouver next week, and I'm partnering with Plus
today.
One. Yeah, a week today, and I'm partnering with Plus One. So $1 from every ticket goes to 2 organizations that I've handpicked. That
The
This is
tour
nice to be
starts,
listening.
at the Vogue Theater, and so this is your newest song, and this is going to be the first time you hear it on the radio.
This is it, man! I'm so excited you guys are playing this, and actually, I just saw the final edit for the music video that's coming out pretty soon.
So what does this song mean to you before we play it?
So in terms of the where it sits in the storyline of the comic, this is the part where the main character, who's loosely based on myself, I write myself, I know myself, I get it. She's gaining ownership of herself. She's feeling empowered. She's angry about a circumstance heartbreak, and now she's gonna go seek revenge and like make her mark. Without the comic, this song is all about realizing that this is our time on Earth and we have to own it and we have to leave a little mark behind, however big or however small that might be. This is just about having fun, enjoying life.
It's so true with what the climate the world's at right now with all the women and the empowerment and stuff. So here it is. It's Lights. We were here. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Awesome.